son of a bitch.
Groovy.
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming to you with the latest in my movie discussion series, and this time I'm going to be comparing two films, the 1978 version of Dawn of the Dead and the 2004 version of Dawn of the Dead. Movies that are named the same and have some similar content, but are stylistically extremely different and tonally extremely different. And the thing about these two movies are, they are very, like I said, obviously I think I've made it pretty clear that they're pretty different, but I also think that they're both awesome in their own ways, and they're very distinct from one another. With the classic, you have much more of like a slow story that is more about like reflecting on life and what it means to be a human and all that kind of stuff. And whereas in the remake, it's much more about, you know, zombie killing fun and action and faster pace. And I mean, you can just look at the way that the two films are shot. The one is very much a throwback to the 70s, which makes sense because that's when it came out. But I mean, it looks like a film, whereas the new one, the 2004 version, looks more like a movie, where it's shot similar to like a music video, but it's great movie in my personal point of view. Now, the thing I find that's very interesting about these two movies is that I feel like the one thing that makes the one better will make the other one worse, and then they'll switch, right? So in the original, I love what it has to say. I mean, there's that classic scene where you have Kevin Forae's character where he's given this speech about how when hell is filled, the dead will walk the earth, and I think that is awesome. And then you have the equivalent character in the original one, which is Ving Rhames' character, and that he's the secondary lead, or first lead, depending on your point of view, and he you know, he's not going to be uttering any deep statements. He doesn't have anything profound to say, really, but he is there and he's going to kick butt, and you know, he's a big tough guy that everybody is kind of afraid of. And it's funny because they're both protectors in their own way, but the one is a lot harder to get along with than the other, and it really speaks to the vast difference in the way that their characters are written. But both of them are quality, and both of them fit the type of film that they're in. Whereas and then you have the female lead, which personally I've always thought of as the main character in both films. In the 70s version, she's kind of quiet and a little bit withdrawn, and there's sequences where she, you know, is kind of playing a little bit more into the like 50s version of the female character, where, you know, she's making home and all that kind of stuff, and there's all these like romantic moments between her and her romantic interest in the film, and I think her performance is great, and she is definitely a powerful character in that, like, she's, you know, she's definitely going to be there, and she's the kind of the core of the group, works as the backbone, and kind of supports everybody, and is, you know, is a survivor in her own regard. Whereas you have the Sarah Polley character in the 2004 version, where she is very much more take charge, and is definitely the focus of the film to a large degree as well. And the movie starts with her as instead of it being much more of a ensemble piece at the beginning of the 70s version. And that's another thing that is interesting. I mean, you look at the two openings of these two movies, and they definitely, again, really play into the type of movies they are. Where in the 70s version, they open up on a sequence where they're in a television studio, and you have this doctor just going on and on about the whole situation and how the zombies are taking over and what that means from all kinds of points of view. It's all a kind of deep thought kind of moment. But then you have the Sarah Polley version, and personally, I gotta say, that version is the one that gets, you know, the blood pumping, and is the one I prefer, because it's just such an amazingly shot sequence where she, you know, goes into a bedroom and she's laying with the person that she shares her life with, and all of a sudden a zombie kid comes in, takes out her husband, she's in the bathroom, she escapes, and then there's a sequence where she's driving in her car, and you just see this mayhem going on around her, and it's just such an amazingly shot sequence. It's just really, to me, probably the highlight of the entire film. And don't get me wrong, I think the rest of it is pretty cool too, but it's action-packed, fast-paced, visually stunning, and just awesome. And like I said, the two just really couldn't be more different, despite the fact that these movies share the same name and have this one major part that is the same, where they both have the group of survivors that go to a mall to wait out the zombie apocalypse, and which I think was always one of the coolest things about the original. I'm very, very glad that they kept that in the remake, because it's just such a cool idea. If you were going to hole up, a mall would be the perfect place, because there's all these different stores, all these different kind of products there that you're going to be able to use to get by in your day-to-day life. I think that was always one of the cooler elements of the original, and I was very happy that they brought it into here. But aside from that, I mean, these two movies couldn't be more different in most regards, and both very, very cool in the same regard. Now, I'll say this, as far as the actual cast altogether, I think the 70s version is vastly superior. I mean, when you look at a picture of the 70s cast, you have an emotional connection to every single character you're looking at. Whereas in the 2004 version, one, it's a much larger group. Two, with the exception of Ving Rhames and Sarah Polley and maybe Mekhi Phifer, you don't really give a crap about almost any of the characters you're looking at. I mean, there's a lot of cannon fodder there. There's a lot of characters that are just kind of meh. I mean, there's one, there's a pregnant lady that ends up in a sequence that is quite something, and that's another thing too, is you look at the actual zombies in these two films. I think both movies have zombies that are very, very memorable. I mean, you look at the 70s one, you have the Hare Krishna zombie, you have the guy with his eye all punked out, you have, I mean, the zombie at the end that has the helicopter blade come and get him. I mean, the whole nine. There's lots of those, but you look at the 2004 version. I mean, dear Lord, the baby zombie, that is wow, what a sequence. And I got like, it was ballsy that they put that in this movie. I mean, it really definitely sticks with you. And then from much more of a comedic vein, they have the Burt Reynolds zombie, where there's a sequence where they're shooting zombies from on top of the mall, and they're looking around, and they're looking for zombies that look like celebrities. I thought really broke the tension of the film in an effective way. And it really works fantastically. And that's the major difference too from a zombie style, is in the 70s version you have the Romero zombies that are slow moving, whereas in the remake the zombies are fully capable of running. And there's the sequence at the end where they're trying to drive through a group of zombies in the big old truck, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, the connection between the two of them doesn't feel like it is extreme by any stretch of the imagination. But I think it is interesting in its own regard. At the end of the day, I think both movies are fantastic. Like I said, I would put the original above the remake. I think both are very well done for what they're trying to be. And that's the one thing I give the 2004 people a lot of credit for too, is they took the nucleus of the idea of it, and then they decided to go a completely different direction with it. But I think was smart. I mean, there are remakes out there where they're trying to basically do the exact same thing, and in one notable case, it was shot for shot remake, and a lot of time that's not a recipe for success, because they're going to struggle to try to live up to what came before. But in this, they definitely went their own way, which I thought was a very smart move. So those are my thoughts comparing the 1978 and the 2004 versions of Dawn of the Dead. Let me know in the comment section below which one of the two you prefer, if you are like me and think they're both awesome in their own distinct ways. Whatever. Other than that, please hit that like button, hit that share button. It makes it much more likely that other people will come check this video out and let me know what they think. And besides that, please, if you're new here or you just haven't done it yet, please hit subscribe or hit that notification bell. That way you can find out when I put out a new video and come and check it out and let me know what you think. Other than that, have yourself a good day.